There we go. All right. Here we are. It's live and good to go. Hey, how you guys doing? I'm Ty.
And I'm Dana.
And we are the Brisbanes. Hey, we just wanted to jump on here today, June 4th, 2022, to finally launch our new YouTube page, Marriage Maintenance. And the reason for this is
we've been planning this for quite a few years, and it's no better time than the present just to launch marriage maintenance and to share with you guys a little bit about us, our marriage, our ups, our downs, in hopes to mentor you and become a part of your family as your girlfriend, auntie, uncle, brother,
OG.
all those fun things.
Yes.
Just having a mentor couple that you can go to, bounce things off of, get some ideas, some tips, some things that we've learned over the years. We've acquired from other couples. We've gone through trials and tribulations that we've, just learned things from, just based on our own experiences. And being here for you guys is important. We're looking at helping you strengthen your marriage so that you can be in this position that we're in. So we're at 24 years married, and
yeah, we just basically wanted to go over a couple bullet points on this couch conversation. So we'll be having a couch conversation on how we met, how it was that we were able to meet, what we did prior to meeting each other, and also how to stay married. So here we go. How did we meet? So
we were both working at Newark Airport.
Continental Airlines, baby.
And I had taken a leave of absence from a teaching job that I truly did love, but had a couple of things on my bucket list that I wanted to start scratching off, and becoming a flight attendant was one of them. So I threw caution to the wind.
Yep.
Got the job and loved every minute of it. It's a great experience and a testimony that when you live your best life, you'll start receiving all the things that are out there that's meant for you. So I went to Continental Airlines with just the intention of being a flight attendant, doing something that I just wanted to do, and this is how I met
me. What year was that? What year did you start working at Continental Airlines?
I believe it was 95 or 6.
Probably must have been 1995 or something like that. Yeah. So Dana started working for Continental Airlines in 1995. I started working for Continental Airlines just a couple years prior, 1993. I was a ramp agent at Continental Airlines, and how I had gotten to that point was the day I graduated from high school, I moved from East Orange, New Jersey. I graduated from Clifford J. Scott, baby. Scotties!
Panthers in the house.
Yeah. She's an EO Panther. We don't hold that against her, though. But anyway, the day I graduated from high school, I moved back to my hometown, born and raised in Philadelphia, baby. The great Philadelphia. But Philly wasn't the place for me. I got into a lot of trouble that first summertime, and I wound up joining the Air Force, the Air National Guard, the Pennsylvania Air National Guard. Hoorah! So I had joined the Air Force, and what happened was I went in as a guardsman, but I did what's called an active guard duty rotation. So I was actually working a lot of active duty days, and I applied for the Continental Airlines job. I had gotten that in large part due to having the military service in my background. And I was fortunate enough to meet Dana probably in 95. How it was exactly that we met again? Because nobody believes me when I tell the story.
I was sitting on my plane. It was getting de-iced. It was winter. and I saw this little cart drive over, and this guy is de-icing a plane next to mine. So I'm just sitting there relaxing and watching him, and had a thought that I think he's really hot, is what I said. So I sent the guy who was de-icing my plane over to tell him that I thought he was hot. And then minutes later, he's at the door.
That's right. She knew just what to do, and from there, she was hard to catch. She's a flight attendant. So, we exchanged phone numbers, and for the next several months, me and her mama, Grammy, became best friends because mama was in love with me first. So guys, if you want a good strategy on how it is to capture a woman, this is the first lesson. This is the first point that I'm trying to instill. Find out what's important to that woman. Find out who's her number one person, who she loves. For Dana, this is her mother. She has an excellent mother who, she was a single mother raising Dana, but she did a great job. And it's just my natural inkling to love, care. She was like a mother to me. So we just had conversations over the phone throughout the months, and she made sure that Dana got back with me.
I was busy. Catching flights, not feelings.
Yes, exactly. So what I started to do right from that door was I was in a very favorable position at Continental Airlines where I was able to basically work when I wanted to work. So like every 2 weeks, I only worked 4 days. I was a master spades player. I made a lot of money playing cards and throwing card parties. So every time Dana basically got on an airplane going to wherever her destination was, I hopped on the plane too. Because if you got somebody's employee number, all you got to do is punch it up in the computer. You can find out where that person is going on that plane, and you could jump up on it. So all you guys who ever worked for the airport or anything like that, you know what I'm talking about. So, what I would do is I'll drive over on my little tug. She was working over an express, which is where the propeller planes are. And I would pick her up, while her pilot and the other flight attendants and everybody else had to walk. She rode in luxury on my little tug and normally got a coffee, a muffin, or something like that. Every time. So what was your favorite first trips that we were able to take while we were dating?
My most memorable and most favorite trip is the trip to New Orleans.
And?
It was because we had really developed feelings for each other, and I was at a pivotal point where I needed to make a decision if I wanted to spend time with this person seriously. He took me to New Orleans, and when we got there, we had the cutest little...
It was a suite
in the French Quarter.
Penthouse, baby.
And he had all of my favorite from Victoria's Secret.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't ever recall having had conversations with him about it. And we hadn't at that point even shopped together for things. So I was just in awe. How did he know? How would he know? He was that attentive that he wanted me to feel happy and comfortable, and to show me that he was invested in me. What was important to me, things that I liked, he cued in on, and he had me at that moment. He had me.
Yes. So, taken from that as another lesson or as another thing is, what's really important in a relationship is time. Take the time to know about the lady, the man, that you're trying to develop this relationship with, and also through all of that, I basically just tried to pay attention and ask questions. So the best way to find anything out that you want to know is to ask a question. Don't assume, don't guess, what if I would have got something she was allergic to or something on that event? So, try to find those things out if at all possible. If you got to take a note on your phone and things of that sort, do so. But really, that was basically how, we met. And from there, we decided, probably just a short time later, in early '96, that we would get married. And, I had been thinking about it for quite some time, but I had not told Dana because I wanted to surprise her. So it was quite a funny development on how she found out that I was going to ask her to marry her. Now, how did that play? How did that work out? Because I always find out that to be so funny.
Well, it was around holiday time.
Mm-hmm.
And
holiday time, 1996.
So anytime that Ty had something important on his mind, or something that he's stressed over, or something that he's really excited about, he talks about it in his sleep. Full on conversation. Full conversation. And replies like he's awake, sound asleep. So the night before Ty proposed, he said in the middle of his sleep, "How did you find it? You wasn't supposed to find it." And he's going on and on and on about finding it. So the next day, I said to him, "Remind me to ask you about something you were talking about in your sleep last night, if something doesn't happen." Is what I think I said to him. And that very next day, he did propose. And of course, I said, "Yes."
Yeah.
And then I told him after he proposed that that's what it was. Because if he didn't have a ring after talking all that junk in his sleep, it was going down. It was going down.
I probably got killed.
Was supposed to find the ring. How did you find it? This whole big to do while he was sleeping. So definitely cute story.
Yes. And from there, while we were planning the wedding and everything, I continued to work at Continental Airlines, put in the hours. Dana was a flight attendant. And what happened before we got married?
So shortly before we got married, with all the planning and stuff, we had come off a multiple day trip at the airport, and was planning on meeting my family and friends to go to the seamstress for dresses. And they wanted me to go on another multiple day trip. So I was going back and forth with them and telling them that, I just had plans, I couldn't do it. So I just called my old job back and I said, if I wanted to come back, how quickly would you be able to take me back? This was on a Friday. They told me on Monday. I told Continental, find someone to take this multiple day trip, or find someone to take all of the trips. And I left. That day was my last day at Continental. We went and met with the seamstress, who was an all-star.
Yes.
She did an amazing job and is an amazing person.
Yes. Rest in peace, Helen Hicks. Such a blessing.
And then I went back to the classroom Monday morning.
Mm-hmm. And I want to say what was really important or valuable through this time was we had many discussions on what we wanted out of a marriage. We both come from single family mothers. My mom remarried. I had a stepdad, but it seemed as though a lot of times my mom didn't really pay attention to me and my older sister anymore because shout out Pam. What's up, baby? Shout out to my older sister Pam because she had a new baby, my sweetheart Talifa, my baby. But it was difficult. So, if any of you guys ever grew up with a step parent, maybe in a home where, you may have a half brother, half sister, anything like that, and things were difficult, that was the situation that I grew up in. And it was difficult, but I want to say our family is very strong and has always been very strong. We got a lot of excellent, great people who've been able to help us through the ways. But we discussed and talked about what we wanted as far as marriage to break the generational curse. Everybody was getting divorced and broken up, and that's not the way it's supposed to be. Okay, the way it's supposed to be is you stick it through together, regardless of whatever. You gotta fight for what you want. And this is what we talked about prior to getting married. So going through all the years, we already knew what we both wanted out of a relationship, out of a marriage, out of a friendship.
Having the same goals.
Having the same goals.
Definitely.
I can't be wanting to drive a plane and she wanting to drive a train. That wouldn't work. We go in different directions. So directionally, we wanted to give our children. We hadn't neither one of us had children at this time. We wanted to give our children a better life than what we had, and for our children to be raised by two parents, by a mother and a father, so that they have a full perspective on life, on what to do, so that they have a more fulfilling, happy life.
I wouldn't say a better life. I would just simply say the lifestyle that we wanted to have for ourselves,
yes,
and to instill in our children.
I agree. And we are very blessed now to have not one, not two, but three excellent, amazing children: Tiffany, Taylor, and Tyhee. And we're very proud of our children. They're now 24, 23, and 18. So we are empty nesters. This is how we have time to do this.
This is our first trip as empty nesters.
This is our very first trip as empty nesters. Many more to come, because we're going to be someplace else next week, broadcasting to you guys live from a different destination. We're currently in
Massanutten, Virginia.
Yesterday, June 3rd, was Dana's birthday. Happy birthday! So, that is how we met. We were married September the 13th, 1997. And it was a very blessed wedding. We had tons of help from many family members and friends. Shout out to
everyone.
Start with your mom.
Lois Bynum.
Anita Miller. Rest in peace, Mom. I love you, sweetie.
Yeah.
Dawn Friday.
Sean Craig.
Keith Waiters was the best man in my wedding. Derek McNeil. My cousin Louis Reyes. One of my great friends, Teddy Leslie, and his excellent wife, Cheryl Leslie, and our goddaughter, Christine Leslie. Love you, baby.
And Jen Cohan.
Man, Jen Cohan, we love you, girl. You just don't even know. You've been such a blessing to our lives. We're so grateful for you, for always being such an excellent friend. We don't consider you a friend. We consider you family, baby.
And Easter
Frazier is the one who married us. Also, with my father, he did say a good piece. Anthony Brisbane, rest in peace, Dad, man. Poppy, we miss you, Father. Yeah, he's such a great guy. But here we are, 24 years later. And, what we're looking to do in these quick episodes is just to give you inspiration and hope, man, to keep on going. Like whatever you're going through, don't give up. If I heard this saying one time, never go to bed mad. There's been some nights maybe where I didn't go to sleep.
For days.
Right? But don't go to bed mad. You have to have a forgiving heart. You have to have an understanding heart, in order to persevere through the trials. Now, I'm going to tell you, we've been through trials and tribulations. You best believe it. We've been through difficult times where we both wanted to give up. But the other one always was able to pull us back in, whether I had to pull Dana back in, whether Dana had to pull me back in. So Dana, what was it that we came up with when in our early days of relationship when we had an argument? So if you're having an argument and you want to know how to stop an argument, maybe you want to come up with a cue word
to diffuse
the situation. You come up with a word, a saying, or something that when you do that, regardless of what you're mad at, you're gonna stop. What was that?
You agree to stop when one of you says the word. Doesn't mean that the situation is over or fixed or null and void. Sometimes you just have to table things and then discuss it at another time. These conversations can get very heated. So
Yes.
our word was
Hercules. So who knows the Nutty Professor? Who watched the movie The Nutty Professor?
Watched.
Right? Not everybody's seen The Nutty Professor. This is a long time ago. So we went to the movies to go see The Nutty Professor, the first one, the Eddie Murphy movie, right? And 20 minutes after the movie was over, we was in the parking lot yelling, Hercules, 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 Hercules.
Belly aching.
Yo, our stomach was broke. My whole jaw fell off. Like, what is it? Steve Harvey say, make a jaw fall off. My head was tight from laughing. So when we going through a situation, an argument, and it's heated, and a lot of times, if you think about it, you don't even remember what the hell you're fighting about, what you're arguing about. So what the Q word was Hercules, Hercules, Hercules. That has gotten us through many a tough day, many a dark day, many a time when I'm like, man, and she's been like, So that was our Q word. This is how we met, and this is how we've been able to stay together. These are some of the things that we've done throughout the years to persevere and to continue to grow and flourish, not only as a couple, but as a family now. So we're looking to instill these same values and principles into your life, into your relationship. Hey, please leave any comments, questions, rants. What should I do? He won't put the toilet seat down. She won't, whatever. What you say?
For girls?
Yeah.
We do everything.
No. Look, we want to be here for you. We want to help you. We want to inspire you. We want to encourage you to stay strong. We want to encourage you to stay together because it's worth it. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? It is so, so worth it. It might not always happen, for everybody, but we want you to try. We want you to give it your most. We want you to make it important. When Dana calls, regardless of what I'm doing, I got 10,000 things going on, I answer the phone. She'll tell you, she answer the phone and she hear me doing 3 things and whatever. And
sometimes I just hang up because I know he's busy. But.
Yes. And the same thing, you must, how women spell love? Time. Time. You must put the time in, my brothers. You must put the time in with your lady and with your children. You got to. This is utmost important.
And time is completely free.
Time is free. Excuses. Time is free, but time is the most valuable resource you will ever have in your life. You don't get any more time. You don't get a chance to make up for what you didn't do or where you weren't at. So make it important to be there for your lady, for your children, for your family. This is of utmost importance. If any one thing I want to tell you to do is invest your time properly in your relationships.
And ladies, support your husband and all of the things that they have a passion for, that they love and they're thinking of. See how you can help, how you can be a part of helping him get where he wants to be, the next level in life. Yes.
And I just want to let you know, background music is provided by our son, Tahi the One. So check out our son on YouTube as well. He has a couple singles released as a solo artist, and he's also has a complete album released in his group. What is it? 525?
525.
His group 525. So we'll put links for 525 and his group in the comments or in the bottom of this video. But with all that, we won't want to hold you up any further.
Look forward to talking with you guys.
Yep, and look out for posts. You know, a lot of times we'll just put a simple quote or post on the page, you know, for that day. Every day it won't be a video. Sometimes it'll just be a nice post or a quick little saying of whatever it is that we're going through or doing that day. But yes, spend your time wisely. Love you.
Take care.
All right, family.
Peace out.
Love.